Hello guys, it's Sean to another weekly plays. So, yeah, it's my birthday. It's 11:50 p.m., so just barely made it, but I did. So some stuff here. Already made the whole video on this, it's already out. Move that. Those are just two examples right there. Two bays to compare to, because I'm going to make the videos here in a minute, but yeah. So for Beyblade, I did get the... I could fix that a bit. Blue Nightmail for Beyblade X, also the black and pink Wizard Arc. Also got a bunch of Zero-G stuff, Samurai Pegasus, Dark Knight Dragoon, Pirates Erosia, and where's my... there it is. Archer Griff. It's pretty cool. Did not get Max's Dragnode, which is kind of weird. It's the only thing that wasn't there. Thought it got ordered actually, so I'll have to look at that. If not, no big deal, I'll buy it. Just seemed like an odd exclusion, but that's fine. Probably something... Oh, I don't know how I was wording that. Anyway, it's something I don't really mind because I don't really want to do that video today anyway, so if it was forgotten about, then maybe I'll get tomorrow and do it then. If not, then I'll buy it and probably do the video later in the week. Either way, that's fine. Different anime things as well. We have Chainsaw Man here because, you know, Chainsaw Man, and then also Dun Dun because it's a good series. Actually watching season 2 right now. Maybe I'll talk more about anime later in the week, but yeah. Also, got the Undertale Collector's Edition, which is really cool. And I even got some games. Yeah, this will be a focal point of Video Game Pickups 20. Got Kirby in the Forgotten Land. Actually, want to play that pretty soon. Got Donkey Kong Country Returns, which is cool. Also Donkey Kong Country 2. So I've had, I have Donkey Kong Bonanza, as well as Donkey Kong 64, but for the country games, I've had 1, 3, and Tropical Freeze for so many years. I've had all of them, I'm pretty sure, for over a decade at this point. Just haven't had Country 2 or Country Returns, so I finally got them then last, but certainly not least. Something I'm very excited about is Kirby Superstar. I played this a couple months back, and yeah, I really wanted the physical. Getting a little bit harder to find, so glad to actually have it. Oh yeah. I think that's all for my birthday. Maybe I'll talk more about birthday stuff later in the week, which is a little bit awkward to do after my birthday, but whatever. The week just kind of fell a little awkwardly this time, but yeah. I guess I could talk about it more of like in a retrospective sense anyway. That could work, but yeah, I'm actually gonna go do these videos now, which is gonna be so annoying because this light just overheats constantly. It might be the like the adapter I have, like the USB to wall adapter, because that's a really old one. I got that one from my iPhone 5 like 12 years ago. So it might have like inadequate amps or voltage or something. So I might try and get a different one. If not, then I'd probably have to get another light because that thing, like, I literally get 12 minutes usually, and then that's it. So trying to make videos like that, it just sucks. Now the weird thing is I can unplug it and plug it back in right away, and I get like at least 6 more minutes out of it. After that, and then it just gets less and less. But still, I don't like having to get up like 1 to 2 times per video to manage that, and then by the end of it, the thing is really, really hot, so I just don't like doing that. So I need to figure that out, because otherwise it's a problem. Probably should have taken care of that before today, but whatever. I guess I'll do the starting parts of all these videos, and then I'll probably like the Beyblade X things, stop for a bit. Then do all like the Zero-G stuff, then take another break, and then maybe after the Zero-G stuff, I'll start putting the games and stuff away. Then I'll do the anime stuff after all that, and then give it a little bit of break for the Undertale, and that probably only takes like a few minutes, but still. Yeah, I think I have a plan to manage the heat levels here today, so hopefully that works. But anyways, we're going to do that. We'll definitely have more for this weekly plays that isn't just, you know, this. Also, my camera battery needs to charge a little bit, so I'll probably do it after the X stuff anyway, so yeah. But, I'm going to go and do that, and hopefully it goes well. We'll see. Alright, I just finished all of the recordings. It's almost 3:30 a.m. It took like 3.5 hours for all that. To be fair, I did take some breaks. I did the starts of all the videos, plus the two, like, BabelX ones, and I think I took, like, an hour break, so... That was fun. I mean, I wanted to, the camera... I wanted to let, like, not camera, the light cool off, and I also had to charge my camera battery a bit, so I just decided to, just chill up here for a bit. And then, after that, the rest of the time was just unboxing stuff for, like, 2 hours, so... Finally finished. Yeah, the light was a challenge. It wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be, because the zero-G stuff I was able to manage pretty easily without too much trouble. And then I took a bit of a break to put away some of the other stuff, and the zero-G stuff as well. And then anime stuff went okay. Took another like 10-minute break before I did the Undertale thing, but yeah, I did all of it, so that's kind of crazy. Now to go figure out the Maxis Dragonite issue. If it's not ordered or whatever, then I'll order one, but I don't know, it feels like a really random exclusion, like I said, because of everything I was thinking of getting, this is the one thing I didn't, it's like quite a few things, so it's a weird exclusion. If that was the one exclusion, that's fine, but I don't know, because I know there's been an issue like this before, where something got ordered and just, like, got forgotten about, and just like, oh, no, here it is, so... Have to check, otherwise, yeah, I'll just go ahead and, like, order that now, because, I did have that planned for September as a Bakon video, and I've kind of just wanted that thing for, like, a really long time as is, so... I should probably do that, so anyway. I have a lot of garbage here now. I have to go throw that away in the downstairs garbage, because I don't want to put more garbage in my garbage, because I have to take it out sooner. And the downstairs one is not my problem. And to be fair, mine's already kind of, like, full. Not, like, overflowing full, but, like, don't know if all it's going to fit, so I have to take it down there anyway. Also got to dismantle this setup. So, yeah, oh yeah, I need to actually go edit one of my BabelX unboxings, because that's supposed to open in an hour and a half. So I'm going to go now, and I'll talk later in the week at, I don't know, some point. We'll see. Alright, it is now actually Friday at like 1:30 a.m., so we'll still record tomorrow or the day after. Probably for a little while, actually, but yeah. I have a package today. This is actually supposed to be 3 bays in particular, but it's from Amazon, and I never trust Hasbro bays. I always like they're going to get them wrong, because I don't trust, US Post, or I guess Amazon workers to actually get these right, but we'll see. Would not be surprised if it's over 3 if they're all just not what I'm looking for, but at least give me 1 right. I got my table set up over there, I want that right. 2 would be great, but kind of annoying because I had to send one back, but hopefully it's 3, it'd be perfect. If I just have all the bays correct in here, we'll see. But I'm not going to be convinced. Okay, this is already, like, open, kind of. Need something other for, like, boxes now, I guess, or these packages, yeah. So first up here, that's correct. So yeah, if you can't tell, I'm trying to get these Hasbro exclusive CX starters, so this is Kraken Wriggle / 385 Orb. So at least got something to unbox that's helpful. That'll actually be the first one I unbox, because it's based on Arc, so. And then we also got Hornet Fort, round 760 taper. This will be the next unboxing, because it's based on Reaper. Very cool. And the last one, which does seem to also be correct, Stag Antler 260 high, or no, Stag Antler Bumper 260 high nail. There we go, almost forgot the display, but yeah. This will be the last one, it's based on Flame, shockingly. Yeah, this came out, like, at the same time, or, like, at least not long after Cerberus Flame, which is very weird. So technically you have a sort of accessible Flame through Hasbro already. Like, keep in mind, I just got my, random Booster Flame 7 stuff, like, well, like 2 weeks ago or so. So the fact that we already have these is kind of wild, not gonna lie, so... Very interesting, but yeah, anyway. So I do have all of these starters here. Very cool. I mean, I don't like these that much, if I'm being honest, but it is still interesting. I mean, new CX stuff is probably good. We don't have any CX bays, really, so... Even though I don't like the line, I've made that very, very clear by now, but, I also don't like how they handle lines. Even though I'm not big on CX, I wish we just had, you know, all CX stuff this year, because that would help to build on the line. They have to actually get creative, probably make some adjustments to make CX better, but I don't think we're going to get that, because, hey, we could just sweep it under the rug, release like 2 more CX bays, activate the 4th line in March next year, and then, you know, that's that. So maybe we would have actually gotten a better CX line if it was just CX this year. But anyway, regardless, we do have some new CX bays here, which is cool, so... I mean, there's variants, but, you know, still kind of new. Also, I remember saying, I think for October, last week I was saying how October 1st was, going to be on the list of video for Video Game Pickups 20. I don't know when that's going to be, actually. That might be early October, like the first 4 days. Or it might be, like, right after. We'll see. However, my Undertale Collector's Edition video is being pushed up to October 1st to pair with the other birthday videos. But for October 2nd, 3rd, 4th, these are going up. I said I wasn't adding more October videos, but I kind of forgot about these, so... yeah, if I get these, it's different. That's what I meant to say, but, you know, I forgot, so I didn't, so... These are the videos I was okay adding, especially getting them now. They were all on Amazon for, what, $12.99 a piece, so might as well get them. I don't know how rare that is to see. Maybe they've done it for a while. I don't know. But yeah, I figured I should probably grab them just to make sure I have them. And I didn't really want to, but I was already buying like Pokemon Legends ZA, you know, my pre-order. So I was like, yeah, why not? I'll go ahead and do it. So here we are. So I'm going to go ahead and unbox all these, do the editing. Not as bad though, because it's still kind of, you know, before October. So I don't feel as bad having to record these at least. So I guess that's good. Also, for not Dragon Colossus, Max Dragonoid, yeah, so the order just straight up never shipped out. I was right on saying that it was weird that that just wasn't something I got, and yeah, I was right, because yeah, I was supposed to get that, but yeah, the order just straight up didn't ship, the seller didn't ship it, so I started a claim. Believe they respond either tomorrow, or maybe even tonight, I don't know. Like the eBay thing, because the seller didn't respond. They're trying to happen before with the seller, but it's infrequent. Like, usually they're fine, but yeah, they've done it before where they just haven't sent something out and just don't say anything, so... We'll have to go through eBay for that claim. We'll get my money back, but fortunately I have ordered from somewhere else already shipped out. It says it's going to be here Saturday, so we'll see, if not Monday, but regardless, the video will be up on the 30th, unless the order just straight up gets delayed, and then... Okay, so I want a 4th Bakugan video for the month, like I really do, so I'll have to make something for the 30th in that case, but I will have to reach into my bag of other Bakutech discussions for beyond this year, and fortunately I do have videos in mind, so don't want to have to pull those out yet, but, you know, if I have to, I have to, so we'll see, but yeah, anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and, if I could talk, go ahead and unbox these now, and I don't imagine these videos will be too long since they're just Hasbro variants, but should still be fun to unbox. So yeah, I'm going to go and do that now, and then I'll record tomorrow or day after, whatever, to actually record like a decent bit more for this week. Alright, it is now Saturday at about 2 a.m. So this won't be the last clip of the week, because I do have one more I'll be doing tomorrow/Sunday morning, or consider it. I don't know when it'll be, but... Oh no, it won't be tomorrow morning, it'll be actually at night. Never mind, I forgot. I'll have some time for that, so... Yeah, that'll be... I just want to open up Max's Dragonoid on camera. That could be cool, but, yeah, at least partially, and get out of the box and whatever comes in, so... Yeah, anyway, so I have a few things to talk about. So first up, this is my birthday week, so... Kind of crazy that I'm already at another birthday, I guess, like, or just had one, because, like, I remember... Like, birthdays are always this weird thing, because, like, they're not a holiday... And, like, as a kid, they felt a lot bigger. I think my last, like, kind of big one was, like, 13. I guess 14 meet people over, so I guess that one kind of, like, ever since 15, it's been just kind of like, oh, yep, birthday happens. I remember my 15th birthday, I actually had to get, well, I got like half my stuff the day before my birthday because it was on a Monday and I was mad about it. Yeah, that did not feel long ago at all. At least not that long ago, maybe like 4 years at this point, maybe 5 even, but not 10. That's crazy. Like my 16th birthday, I remember getting like a PS4 and stuff. 17th birthday, that one, that was a pretty good one actually. 18th birthday, we're taking off a 4-day weekend for. And yeah, these are all like the high school ones, which is crazy that it's been so long. The last one was 7 years ago, but yeah. Then my 19th birthday, that one, that feels like it just happened. Like I remember getting all the stuff for that. I feel like the world in general, there's such a big like shift in my mind when I think of like 2019 and 2020. Obviously 2020 being the year it was, but also just like, man, it really shifted everything. Because even now that like we're technically back to normal, you could say, like it doesn't feel like we ever got back to that. So like when I think of like late 2019, especially kind of being done with high school, after I got my good college plan, which didn't end up happening since I switched schools like 2021. But anyway, but ever since I was like confirmed to do online school, those last 4 months, 2019, were just great. Yeah, it's so weird. I remember like my birthday in 2020. That really does not seem like long ago. That does not seem like 5 years. That's like a year and a half at best. 2021 birthday, also not long ago. That's only ice shining on my terrace and stuff. That was cool. My second birthday, that just happened. 23rd birthday, that was like yesterday. 24th birthday, that's not even real. 25th birthday, like 24th, 25th birthday just feel like the same day, straight up. I don't know how else to say it. Like, it just feels like the stuff for my 25th birthday I got on my 24th birthday. It was just the same day. It's very odd, but yeah. I don't know much to say about birthdays, I don't think, because I've talked about it before, and I don't know, just like, what else do I really say about it? But yeah, let's see, talk about the background thing, birthdays, what else do I want to say? I'm not going to do anime stuff for this video, because I will be doing anime stuff in my next weekly plays, which will be in 2 weeks. Because that's an anniversary episode, which I don't usually do, but especially for 11 years, which is awkward. However, I mentioned this before, it will be the correct week, because the first ever weekly plays I did was, October 5th to the 11th, which there has not been another week like that since 2014, so I gotta do the correct week. Like, I mean, it's the first time, and I'm still doing these somehow, so has to happen, I feel. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Hopefully I'll make that one kind of a longer one, we'll see, but would be nice if that was an interesting weekly plays, at least like kind of, but yeah, that'll be fun. But yeah, that'll be kind of talk about like anime and stuff. Speaking of schedules, I do actually have I'm not going to be talking about it like fully here. That won't be till the October news week, which is the week after the anniversary week. But I do have sort of a concept for November going, which will lead me into like Beyblade stuff. But yeah, so for November, and also the fact that we're already about to be in the last like quarter of 2025 is ridiculous. Like, before we get to the schedule stuff, I also have to say, kind of going back to like time stuff. Like, when I was a kid, 2025 always just seemed like this futuristic year, like especially like in the 2000s. Like 2025 just was like flying cars. That's what I always think of, right? And then even in like the 2010s, like the mid 2010s, 2025 still felt like a really futuristic year. And even like late 2010s, even getting like 2020, it still was like, yeah, 2025 that's like a huge year. And then it gets closer and closer, and it's like this is this year that I've always like built up in my mind as like being a huge thing, a quarter through quarter way through the center, right? And now it's like almost done. Like, I don't understand how we got here. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, and the fact that it's not just like starting 2025. No, it's almost done. Like, what? Like, anything after 2025 in my mind just does not seem real. Like even 2023, 2024, that like 2020. Okay, 2022 seemed like the last like real year. 23 and 24 in my mind were always like these futuristic years. 25 was like the future year. But like my mind just never even like processed anything after this year. So like thinking about like being in 2026 in like 4 months, or not actually barely even 3 months at this point. That's insane. I'm not gonna know what to do. And I look at the date and I see 2026. Like that's crazy. But yeah, how are we already like in the last third of the year? Not well, yeah, last third, but must be the last quarter of the year. Like, what happened? How did we get here? So it's very odd. I don't know. Because 2025 feels like it just started. I remember like January. That's like the parkour stuff. I was talking about Minecraft. I remember. Then like February happened. You know, that was an interesting time. That's like the whole CX stuff. That's when I made like the big CX video that had interesting reception. And March, I just remember March is that 1 month where I was doing a bunch of school stuff because I had to do extra classes. April felt better. You know, I finished my school stuff. Well, I mean, it felt better once it was done. And yeah, everything was going well. It seemed, and everything was nice. You know, it was on break. Then May happened, and May the first couple days were nice, but then yeah, I had the issue, had surgery, and then yeah, the rest of it kind of sucked. June was better. Started feeling better. Also, you know, switched to that was great. Mario Kart World. You know, July was interesting. July feels like it just happened. I don't know how this is done. Like, you know, Kirby Superstar, Undertale, nice little bit of, you know, Mario Kart World, and then also, you know, Donkey Kong Bonanza. That was really cool for July. And then August, I was building a lot of Minecraft stuff, and then it kind of just stopped. I also had like a Bakugan phase in July and August as well, which it just kind of happened, and then I don't know. Like I remember doing Minecraft stuff, and I guess into like the start of September. I don't know what happened in September. September just like happened somehow. I don't know. And now we're here, so I'm not sure how we're. What's today? September 27th, I think. Yeah. I don't know how it's the 27th, but it is. So, yeah, here we are. I don't know what to do with that. So, because Sunday will be the 28th. Yeah, no, October is literally Wednesday. That's just insane. Like I don't know how we're already almost in October at this point. Man, that's okay. That's something. All right. And yeah, the fact that I'm talking about like a November schedule, like yeah, no, November not that far away because a month from now, with how quick months go, it's like 2 days from now. It'll be end of October. We'll be like about to hit Halloween and November by extension. So again, I don't really know how we got here, but we're here. Yeah. Anyway, so getting into my November schedule, like I was gonna say, not schedule, just like kind of concept here. So, of course, I'll have some, you know, Beyblade unboxings. I'm not playing a ton of stuff here, so let's see. So I do have some Beyblade unboxings. I already talked about, you know, for October how I added the Hasbro variants, but I'll probably do like the November ones. Maybe I don't know if I'm wrong with October, November. Well, the news video, Bakugan, the weirdest gimmicks video for Bakutech. Also, you know, retrospect episode 6 on Diocific. I'll probably do 2 Weekly Blazes in November. Well, we'll see. One news one, obviously, but maybe for Thanksgiving. Not decided on that. And then also maybe a couple Blaze Talks. We'll see. I'll think about it. And then for Beyblade, I do have that's also in the DB video. Well, the DB gimmick video will be up. That'll be the last in the kind of gimmick line of videos for Beyblade stuff. Yeah. However, the one video I want to talk about is has CX improved Beyblade discussion. So I did this last year, where I talked about in November I did 2 videos. I did kind of a video on BX, kind of why it should be done, or well, why I think it should probably be done. You know, how did I frame that video? Was it should BX end? Or something like that. And also has UX improved. You know, I think they were solid videos. And then in December I did like a CX prediction video, kind of what I didn't want it to be, which is what we got for CX. But this year I'm not going to do it the same exact ways I did last year. So instead, I already did the BX video for the year. BX was in July. I talked about that, you know, why BX needs to die off, basically, right? So I'm not doing another BX video. Now for CX, okay, UX will probably be the last video. I don't know if that'll be December or maybe even January, honestly. I might wait till we have the December releases out, so that might actually be a January video. But it'll be on UX and why UX is kind of still like dominant and why it's like the best lineup base we have right now. But aside from that, December I'll do probably my fourth line prediction because we usually get, you know, the listings and stuff in. Usually it could be in time to like mid to late-ish October, maybe even early November, but by then we should have a decent, you know, I guess time to look at what the fourth system is. I can maybe conceptualize something, try and figure out what the system name means if we don't have leaks by then. Also want to wait till December because then the new game will be out, and then I can maybe give a better prediction, hopefully, on what that could be. So, again, I'll have to think about it, but yeah, I definitely will have some things to say probably, so. But I do want to give more information, because I could just make a fourth line video right now if I want to, but I don't want to. I want to wait till I see the name, try and maybe get a little bit of information. I think by December, fair enough to make a video like that, since I don't want it to be a full reveal or anything. But I do want to, at least know the name and get like a slight idea to what it could be and how that could be framed, but yeah. Beyond that though, November will be the CX video. That will be, you know, has CX improved? And my answer to this question is probably going to be no. I mean, I'll say like, yeah, technically it's improved because like obviously it's better than what we had from like the first like look at it with the first 3 bays, I guess plus like Hell's Reaper technically, but yeah, sure, it's improved, not by a lot, but because yeah, I mean Pegasus Blast did better, but I mean like most that's based on Turbo being interesting, so I don't think it counts for CX really. Who cares? Like Rhino Reaper, Foxbrush, who cares? Cerberus Flame, kind of a little bit interesting, a little bit wider, has, you know, an interesting assist blade. That's kind of cool. Whale Flame, no one cared. Soul Eclipse, I will give credit to Soul Eclipse right from the Flip Connect. That is the one caveat to this. Now, I also want to wait till November because then I should have the November releases, and these usually come out like at the start of November as well. So this video will probably be like mid to late November, but hopefully I'll, you know, have all the stuff by then. But yeah. But for November, yeah, that'll be later in the month, and hopefully the November releases are decent. Then maybe the video can be framed a bit more positive, but I don't really expect that. So I think it's just going to be like, nope, it's not better. And here's why it's not better, basically. That's what the video is going to be. But it does lead me to wondering what because I did mention the problems with the fourth line, and I think as we've been going on, there's more and more problems piling up in my mind that this fourth line is going to be a problem one way or another. Because here's the thing, right? I'll mention this when I get to my video on this in December, but that's still at least a little over 2 months off. But basically, here's the thing. If the fourth line is actually good, right? If it's a good line, then great, because okay, we have a better line. Nice. The problem, though, is they keep old lines around. We don't know how they're going to do this. Will BX, UX, and CX all stay around? I imagine they probably will. Now, there's 2 ways I could do this. You could either do A, where it's kind of like how they do now, where it's just like, okay, maybe a few different months or a couple certain releases or whatever are dedicated to old releases. So instead of, you know, because I think UX has like 6 bays this year. Is it 6 bays in 2025? I think I'm right on that. So let me think real quick. Yeah. Okay, and then BX has 3. So that's 9. So maybe it's like 3, 3, and 3. Or maybe you do more CX since that's the newest line. Maybe you do like 5 of those and then like 2 BX, 2 UX. That could work. Alternatively, the other thing, B, is that they just make it to where you still get like 3 BX, 3 UX, and then like 6 CX, and it's like that's just a problem. Then it's like barely anything for the new line, and the new line's gonna get shafted. Maybe like we'll get a custom set next year for CX and not the new line, and it's just gonna feel bad if they do that, but still. So you can do this correctly, but I'm worried they won't. And even if they don't do it, or even if they do it correctly, it's like, okay, well now, the problem is, depending on what they do, because BX, okay, UX is like competitively dominant, so if it's not UX level, then people, like competitively, they're not going to really shine as much if they're not on that level. If they are, great, but then again, I feel like BX and CX are kind of as dead. Also, if the base are more interesting, then again, UX still has merit, but BX and CX, like again, this is probably going to be like a divided blade concept, I imagine. Whether it's CX2 or just like a different idea, I don't know, but still, I feel like regardless of what happens here, BX and CX are just going to be like worthless lines that no one cares about. UX could definitely still hold a good spot, but then the new line's going to just be like the main thing, and if it's not, then it's going to be a problem, because then, yeah, UX is still the best, and like, what happens, like, at that point, right? Like, if this line isn't good and UX is just there, like, they're going to have to, like, forcibly, like, power creep with, like, weight or something? Or, I don't know, because, like, yeah, if you just do a CX2 system where it's, like, CX with gimmicks, then CX is worthless, UX is still better, unless they power creep the hell out of CX2, and it's just like, okay, well now this is kind of by proxy the best, but now that means like every other CX base is worthless, and BX is probably worthless, and UX maybe is still fine, but not as good, so. Like, I just think they've really, like I kind of said way back like 2 years ago at this point, they've kind of pigeonholed themselves. I don't think you can really make a good line at this point because of how you structured your gen. So I don't really see a fourth line going well, because either, yeah, it's going to be like it's just going to be a line that's not as good as UX, which is just like, okay, CX was divisive at best, right? You cannot have another line like CX or something that's just not really gets, seen as being as good, because, well, that's just a great way to cause stagnation. And if we have a second year straight of this kind of awkward, like, oh, can this new system actually come together, or is it just going to fall apart? I don't know, but if we have a second year, that X is really going to struggle a lot. And we'll come back to this in a minute, but if it's good, then it's probably going to have to like power creep its way through everything else. It'll have to figure out how to power creep UX, probably. I don't see it really being a natural, and yeah, it's just, we're gonna, like, even if UX is still good, right? Even if they manage a decent power balance, like, it's BX and CX are bad. Like, you have worthless lines going that people aren't gonna care about, and with it being BX and CX, that's just a lot of extra filler releases that people are going to largely ignore, and the gen will continue to feel awkward. So yeah, I've covered some of this in like my BX video as well, but yeah, it's just weird. But yeah, I'll come back to what I was going to say, which I just forgot. What was I going to get into? Do I need to replay this? We'll see. Alright, so I got like an interesting text, nothing like crazy or bad or whatever, just like interesting. It made me lose my train of thought, and then I had to go downstairs to replay what I was saying, because I'm like, what was I talking about? But I remember the point I was going to make, which is the whole thing about stagnation, because people might be like, oh, well, CX isn't stagnant, like, things are still moving, but I don't think this is the case, because the problem is that CX is not new, but okay, so we had, the first batch, we had more in April, a lot of problems, but hey, give it a chance. That's kind of like the sentiment that some people have. Some people are just like, this is bad, right? But some people are like, hey, give it a chance, but over time, it became more clear that this line is cooked, but, like, people were interested in Foxforce, but after that, okay, 3 months straight, not great, but hey, July, July is this big month. People were wondering about, like, we're gonna have a huge July starter, what is July gonna be? But I feel like ever since July, Peg, okay, like, Blast Wheel, sure, it's like, oh, it's a combo, then you get, like, Shark Scale, which Scale has stolen the show entirely. Well, Eclipse looks cool. I feel like there's just not much hype around it, especially competitively, because yeah, people are cool, like, think it's cool. I think it's cool, but like competitively, yeah, no one, from what I can tell, cares all that much, except for like the few people that are still coping over CX, which should Just cut your losses. Like, you don't need to cope over it. It's cooked. Not saying you can't do stuff with it. Not saying Blast Wheel's bad. Blast Wheel's still like a good like A tier combo, I'm sure. But aside from Blast Wheel, like what Brave Jaggy, it's like B tier. It's usable. I'm sure there's a couple other usable combos, but it's not a good line, right? So anyway, so yeah, and I think most people by now understand that even if there's cool things come out of it, again, like Eclipse is really cool. I like the flip gimmick, but competitively people are kind of checked out, and that's the problem. Is okay, well, we're getting, Clock March, which looks bad. It's a UXA, but it looks bad. Another month people aren't going to care about. Can the November releases do something? Okay, you have a November deck set. That might actually get some people excited, sure, but is it going to be enough? I don't know. And after that, we're going to December. December's going to be a huge release month, and it's not CX. And by the time we get to our January release, people are going to be looking forward to, the fourth line. January, February releases, we'll get those announced in the January Korokoro. We're also probably going to get a teaser for the fourth line, so no one's going to care about the January CX booster. No one's going to care about Random Booster Volume 9 with the BX Bay. People are going to be looking at March for what will likely be 2 starters and a booster for the fourth line. And I know it could be it's a little difficult to say, like, oh, well, CX, people still talk about it, but the problem is, right? 2 problems here. First up, we're taking Hasbro into account, because Hasbro CX came later. Didn't start showing up until, like, what? Mid to late May, probably early June for accessibility, so it's still newer. People are still getting accustomed to it. But I think even, people now are seeing that, yeah, CX might not be the best. You have some variants too. But I think the discussion is going to really die off with CX. I think really once that November core hits and you have the December UX stuff, because it's also apparently going to be LF Spin Bay. Once images of that bay drops, CX is done. That's it. Because after that, the next big thing is going to be the fourth line. So unless CX pulls off a miracle in November, I don't think this line has anything left at this point. Like, anything meaningful left. And Hasbro, people already probably figured it out by now as well. And I think the line's really going to struggle. And the problem is, if another line is like this, we've already dealt with it, so another year of that is just like, man, that'd be terrible. Like, people are going to be super checked out, because you already had a lot of people. Some people still will tell you CX is bad. A lot of people from like March or April would have told you CX is bad. I've been saying it since February when it was revealed. Yes, you'll still have your people coping. Yes, there's going to be more people willing to give the fourth system a shot, but less people are going to. Less people, once they see that first, wave, it's not as good. Okay, well, we've seen this before. It's just like CX. I don't care. And that's going to be the sentiment after the first wave. People are immediately just not going to care. They're going to drop it, right? And yes, you'll have more people who are like, well, let's get a couple more releases, but by July, once they see it, it's like, okay, yeah, no, this is the same as last year. I don't care. If we have a second Lance bad, I don't know how this generation is going to do more, so I think you're going to see people kind of drop off of the gen. That's just me personally. And obviously you're going to have that subset of people who are just in extreme cope and will tell you how the CX is amazing, the fourth line's amazing, you can do a lot of cool stuff. I just don't see that happening, but yeah, we'll see. Anyway, that's all for today. Kind of a lengthy discussion, but yeah, I had thoughts. So I guess we're not quite to the fourth line yet, probably another month, maybe less actually. Could be like 3 weeks by now, but we'll see. Still a little while off until we get, actual proper news on the next listings, which will be March through, actually I don't know, because we got February already. Maybe we'll have an updated February listing, hoping that turns into a random booster select. It's not actually a random booster, but I'm not sure on that. Probably not, but that's my cope for the day. But anyway, gotta cope somewhere. So that's it for me. But yeah, I don't know if it'll be March through May, March through June even. Don't know, but hopefully we'll see that at some point. Again, I don't know when, but anyway, that's all I have for today. So yeah, I'll be back later for the Maxis Dragonoid stuff, which will be pretty cool. Alright, it's now Saturday at what time is it? Like 8:45 p.m. Last clip of the week, I just got this box a lot of information just on it, so I'll have to open it kind of off camera, unfortunately, but this should be my kind of missing thing here, so... Because I was supposed to get this for my birthday, and I mentioned, like, the order just... Did I mention this? I think I did. Yeah, the order just, like, yeah, it did not get shipped, and, we got refunded, so the money is back, and I spent that money on this, because, well, I wanted Maxis Dragonoid, so... Yeah, it's been too long. I had to get this thing, like, at some point. Like, it just had to happen. Was a necessity, so... You know, as I struggle to open this box, this thing really does not want to open at all, so... Trying to figure that out as I dropped my scissors as well. I don't even know where those went. They just vanished under my bed. Great. I could just rip this thing open. Although scissors would be very helpful. I should just find them. There they are. Okay. So one thing I miss about my old, like really old bed, that I had from what, July 2012 to March of 2020, did not have an underside of the bed, which was good and bad. Bad because, like, couldn't, like, store stuff under there, but good because, like, yeah, I just didn't drop stuff. And every time I drop something in my room, it just somehow bounces perfectly. Just fly under my bed. Like, it's insane. Like, I don't understand how that even works. But that is just what happens. So, anyway. Okay, we'll go with this side. And let's see what we got. Got a lot of bubble wrap in here. Okay, that's something. Okay, so this is everything. Yeah, these are all the pieces. I'm going to leave it like this because I'm doing this for, like, I'm not going to record it today, actually, but when I do the video, I'll just open it, I'll show this, and, like, that way I can at least call it an unboxing, because otherwise I have to do, like, a video, like, the newest Stray box, I'm going to call it an overview, and I like to title my stuff consistently, so... Anyway, oh yeah, that's how I'll do it, but I'm not going to record that today. One, I am tired today, and I also have to, like, well, and B, I have to do schoolwork, and, I don't really have much at all this week, but, like, just knowing I have to, like, do that makes me not want to, like, record this at all, so... I will record it tomorrow, and once I record it, I will have to, like, upload it, and edit it, like, right after, so I could get it up on time, since this is the video for the 29th, and... By the time I actually record that video, it'll probably be either late night of the 28th or at that point morning of the 29th, so let's get that up in time. But I'll make sure to do it. It'll be recorded and everything tomorrow, so for today, it's just going to stay like this. Might take the sticker off. I don't know yet, but yeah. I just don't feel like dealing with this today because, yeah, I'm not prepared for it, so... Well, I mean, I could, but again... It's just easier, because also, like, people go to bed earlier on Sundays, and that's just helpful, because otherwise, you know, like today, I don't know, because I don't know when people are going to come back, I don't know, you know, if they get back, are they going to stay up, I just don't know, like, they could be up till 1, and then it's like, okay, well, then I have to record, and I just have limited time, I don't want to deal with all that, so, also, I'm going to watch, like, a stream or something later, and I know tomorrow there won't be a stream. I feel like a lot of people just don't stream Sundays anyway, but the person I watch doesn't, so... Yeah, today just... whatever. Not doing it today, so... But I will make sure it's up on the 29th like it's supposed to, so... Or not 29th. No, this video is it the 29th? No, it's the 30th video. What am I talking about? I don't need this video up till... Okay, no, I don't edit this tomorrow if I don't want to. I mean, I probably will, but if I want to wait till Monday, I can. No, never mind, I'm good. I don't have to force this out. This is Tuesday morning's video, so I am actually good. Nice. Okay. I'm still going to record the video tomorrow anyway, but, like, if I don't want to edit it, I don't have to. I probably will, but we'll see. Anyway, yeah, the 30th, yeah, because 27th today was Samurai Pegs, and the 28th, 29th are anime videos. You got Chainsaw coming out, and then like a few hours, and Dawn the Dawn for the 29th. Yeah, and this is the 30th. Okay, so schedule's all good. Anyway, that's all for this Weekly Blaze. I will be back not next week, but the week after, because, well, as I mentioned, it's the anniversary week. So anyways, thanks for watching, and bye-bye.